on to something different. I wanted to kind of chat today. So for those of you who are looking at getting a mortgage, I wanted to kind of touch base on the top 5 things to do when you're starting out with a mortgage broker. And they may sound basic, but they're actually quite critical. So in times like this, where you hear Tim and Azad talking about, multiple listings and lack of supply, well, guess what? That means you as a buyer are potentially going in competition against other buyers to purchase that specific home that you want. So that means obviously more competition. You need to have better terms and conditions in your offer. And a way to have better conditions is to have the shortest financing date possible so that the seller knows that you have a strong financing condition and that you have been properly pre-approved. And so a shorter condition date will oftentimes strengthen your offer over someone else's. But in order to have that shorter condition date, you need to be ready to act quickly. And in order to be ready to act quickly, you need to be ready for your mortgage broker. So first things first, you need to complete a full application. So I preach this all the time. Picking up the phone, calling, asking some questions is great. Finding out, okay, how much can I spend is great. But if you're not filling in every single detail, then we won't be ready to submit an application on the fly if you write a last minute offer or a competitive offer with a short condition date. Also, you don't want to be writing offers on properties that you can't afford or whose properties guidelines don't meet the guidelines of what you're pre-approved for. So simple things like if you're buying a second home, did you know that a second home can only have 1 unit? It cannot have a legal suite and it cannot have an illegal suite. So things like that, where your mortgage broker is going to take your application and fully lay out a plan of what type of property can you purchase, what purchase point can you be at, and what down payment you need, among other things. So taking that full application is going to be really, really critical to setting it up properly. Second thing is gathering those documents that your broker is requesting. Trust me, I don't love paperwork, so I'm not asking you for things that I just want to see for no reason. Anything that we're asking for is because it's critical to the mortgage application. And the more documents you can send your broker up front, the more accurate your pre-approval is going to be, and the faster we get an approval back from the lender with documents reviewed. Again, allows you to waive conditions earlier, or it allows you to put in a shorter condition date to strengthen your offer. Part of that is income. A lot of people don't actually know what they make for income. And if you underestimate your income, you could be selling yourself short on how much you can spend or how many properties you can purchase. You might make a salary, but your 2-year average might be way higher, taking into consideration bonus and overtime and things like that. Or you might make a salary and you might have rental income on the side. You might have child tax benefit, all these different things that we can use, but in different ways and different advantageous ways, depending on the lender. So knowing the breakdown of exact income and how you're claiming your income is going to allow us as a mortgage broker to really hone in on what income can we use and really max out your income to let you purchase the most amount of properties possible. Third thing, formal pre-approval with a rate hold. I've been talking about this probably the last 12 months now, since we've started to see rates really increase and jump this last year, is that a rate hold doesn't just lock in a rate for you. That's an added bonus. What the rate hold does, it's actually locking in the stress test qualifying rate. And when we're in a rising rate environment, every time that rate goes up, that stress test qualifying rate goes up. As that stress test qualifying rate goes up, the amount that you can spend goes down. So by doing a pre-approval with a rate hold, you are not just locking in a rate, you're actually protecting your purchase price. Because we saw this in October, I believe it was October, when the Bank of Canada came out with the 1 overnight lending rate. And immediately from the day before to the next day, qualifying went down by $40,000 overnight. So if you didn't have a rate hold the day before and you went the next day to get one, you could spend $40,000 less. So same thing, I'm always encouraging rate holds with your pre-approvals, not just a pre-approval if you qualify for a rate hold, obviously, but that will help protect your purchase price. And a lot of people don't realize that. Fourth thing is have your credit checked. Here's another big one. In order to do a pre-approval, in order to do a rate hold and protect that stress test qualifying rate, you have to do a credit check. And for those of you that stress out or worry about a credit check, don't. A pull from the same type of institution within 45 days of each other still only counts as one pull. So Equifax updated that about 1.5 years ago to help people who were searching for credit and shopping around so that you're not feeling as stressed about having your credit pulled. Now, having said that, the other reason we like to do a credit check is because Equifax and TransUnion make mistakes just like everybody else. Sometimes we're seeing things on credit bureaus that maybe shouldn't be there or are incorrect. And you might need time to correct or fix those things before you can write an offer. So having that done up front, again, allows you to be ready to go for when you actually write an offer on a home. And the last thing is follow your mortgage broker's suggestions. So I personally have been a mortgage broker for over 16 years now. And I can see the different rate cycles coming. I can see the different housing cycles. I can let you know if I think you should be locking in, when you should be doing a rate hold, should we be doing fixed, should we be doing variable, what are the strategies we're looking at for a specific property and why? Which lenders are we going to and why? Why are we saving some lenders for maybe property 3, 4, or 5, and we don't want to use them on property 1 because it could affect your entire investment plan and cause you to purchase less properties than you could have had we used the right lender in the right order. So there is a vast amount of knowledge in my head that I can use to help assist and come up with an investment plan to help you accumulate multiple properties. But again, my biggest piece of advice is use that asset, lean on your mortgage broker, trust their advice, and listen. Really, the advice that we're giving you is to help you with that investment plan to accumulate properties and build your wealth. So the advice that we're giving you is going to be professional, sound advice. So that is what I have for today. Some top 5 tips to deal with your mortgage broker and a little market update. So Azad and Tim, if you wanted to pop back on, I'm not sure if anybody has any questions, but I will put my contact information in the chat if anybody wants to reach out.
Thanks, Danielle. That was really, really informative. I like it when Danielle comes on because there's a lot of stuff that even Azad and myself have no idea about. And it's good to get an update every couple of weeks because the mortgage market does shift from week to week. Rates are changing all the time, or we may get another rate increase from the Bank of Canada shortly. And it's really, really good to get that advice from Danielle.
Yeah, and Danielle has been working with us for close to 20 years. She looks after all of our clients, and she does an awesome job. And the reason why we use her is because she doesn't just get you a mortgage, she creates a plan for you to grow and succeed at real estate investing.